Good evening. It's pretty weird. The camera. Okay, there it is. We've got a brand new camera. I want to thank Jamie. Jamie is a funny word. It's a very funny word. I have to write that word down because it says other things. It's not just a name. It's Jamie. It's a very special name. How do you spell Jamie? J-A-I-M-E? Is that how we spell Jamie? I ramble. Talk about nonsense. And since nobody's here, I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to go in the kitchen, see if this 4-year-old tea is any good still. Turn on the stove. Let me get some water. I'm going to be with you in a minute. Get a little bit more water. Yes, I don't know if this water is any better than that water. There you go. I didn't take my Nakanese today. I'm not sure if it's good to take it late at night. I really don't know. But I'm taking it. So I came on and I said I want to thank Jamie for the camera. But the name Jamie for me tells me a different story. In fact, any name you will tell me, I'm going to make up a story. My mother, my friends, my family, I don't include as my friends. They always tell me that I always have a story. You're always making something up. That's okay. So why do I do this? Or why am I doing it now? Or why do I do it here? Or what am I doing at all? Why am I here? I like to fool around sometimes. But it took me about 10 years before I can figure out why I'm here. And I wasn't really sure what it was other than to understand every single word that has ever been written in the English and French language. After I've done those two languages, I like to add in Spanish. And every single language that I can hear something, if I hear a sound of anything in the language of my birth, English, it doesn't matter what it is. If it sounds like something, I will write it as it is and try to understand what it is. Why is it there? What does it mean in that language? Vahi bin soa haharan, that's Hebrew. But the minute I say va, I know French it means to go. Vahi, and I know as it in English, it's the heavens of energy. Where does it go? When I say hair, if I say it the French way, they keep the H's silent, and I will say air. But what will it have to do with my hair? Now, what is hair? How can we use it? Can we use that hair? Is that some kind of energy that we use? What do you call it, with filaments? So I tried to make an understanding with everything, right? But once this is done, and it doesn't have to be done by me, I could just look in the dictionary and see what everybody else said. All the smartest people in the world, Whatever anybody said, whoever got a diploma, how we base and judge things in this world, I want to use that. And if you know about the zodiac and you can tell me anything about the zodiac, whether it's from the Mayan time, whether it's the Chinese zodiac, or whether it's the zodiac where we have balance and Libra, and we have Cancer and Sagittarius and Capricorn and Aries, etc., etc., or whether we're talking about the rat or the ox or the rabbit or the dragon or the dog or the pig or the horse or the monkey. Every one of these words is a letter in the alphabet. Every one of these letters has a position in the alphabet, A1, Z26. That is a base alphabet, but there are more alphabets out there, more bases. And for all these bases, I will use every single alphabet that has ever been used numerically. They have gematria alphabet, where it's A1 all the way up to G7, and then once you get to G, you go down again. You go up to 6, then 7, then down to 1, and then you go over to 1, up to 6 and down. The alphabet comes in two formations. It's the first 13 and the second 13. And in the first 13, the center one is the 7. The two to the side are 5s. So what is 6? 6 is an even number. 5 and 7 are odd numbers. What is 6 and 7, 7 and 6? It's the soul and it is water. What is 5 and 7 or 7 and 5? It is the electric moon. Every single word will get a number. So now in this alphabet, in this alphabet, 55 is sky. 55 is past, 77 is power. 77 is matter. 77 is CHR15T. But if I wrote it out, you would say Christ, 77. Now the center of 7 is 4, and Jesus is number 74. Time is number 47, and energy is number 74. And we haven't done the math yet to see where these numbers lead us, but we do know that 74 is just like 11. The division of the window. 7 plus 4 equals to 11. Now, do we multiply it? 7 times 4 equals to 28. 7 plus 4 equals to 11. 28, 2 plus 8 is 10. And 11, okay, is 1 plus 1 equals to 2. Let me show you. 7 times 4, 28. 7 plus 4, 11. 1 and 1 is 2. So this is one of your base creations of alpha beta creation coming from this number. Now where can we find it? We can find it right over here. We can also understand it a little bit deeper with this. And now we're going to give it a little formation and add this to it. So we are going to use these 3 items. Let me see if I have to correct myself with this. Just 1 second here. Okay, I don't know. It's not this. So where is this? Well, I have 4. So I have to look this around. Look around. I got 4. Now I say this is a solid. So I'm going to take these 4 and put them into the 4 corners. Now I'm going to have 5 that are left over. So I already know that the 4 dot goes with the 7 void. 4 dot, sorry, the 4 dot goes with the 5 void. The 7 void is the 2 dot. 2 dot, 2 dot, 7 void. 4 dot, 5 void. 74 is energy. 77 is matter. 14 or 41, I don't have 14, this is home and king. 28 is man and a combination of T and H coming together. And when does T and H come together? It comes together over here, where it's 1, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 1, where it's what connects 5 and 3? 4, 7, 4. Why 5 and 3? Well, these are the center of these numbers. That's why I'm using 5 and 3 right now. Okay, I don't want to get into it really deeper, and the reason I'm getting into it is because I want to combine the 7 and 4. That's why I'm doing it. I want to bring the 7 and 4 together. Now, the thing is with this, is the entire alphabet is 6 numbers and 1 number and 6 numbers and 1 number, and 1 number and 6 numbers and 6 numbers. 6, 1, 6, 6, 1, 6. So here you have 13 letters in the alphabet, and here you have another 13 letters in the alphabet. When you add these together, it equals to 39, and 39 equals to angel. Now I'm going to stop. My water is boiling. If you don't understand where I am, please do not hesitate to ask me. This is not a one-day deal where I'm going to come out here. I'm out here as often as I am. It's a rough copy of what's going to be the finality from the beginning, that when I started to the end of every single day, what has been accumulated in knowledge and seen. What comes together? Is it real at all? Well, the question is this real? Do people use it? And do they use it in games? And are we making money off of it or losing money off of the dice? Are we playing games with the dice? Do people use Rubik's Cube? Have you ever seen this before, the casino on the roulette? And has anybody used these? Are there definitions about any of these things? Has anybody used this? Does this have a name? If it does, then there's stories that can be told using these items that have been stamped, marked, trademarked, and people believe them. And if you highly believe, right, throughout the entire planet, I'm going to go out on the limb and say out of 7 billion people, all those over 12 or 13 years old in one of their languages will call this, and I'm saying at least 80% of the people in the world will call this a calculator, and they know how to use it. Many people in North America, especially every single person that has ever been to a casino, are going to know what these are. I want to know if I'm right or I'm wrong by making these statements. Am I going out on the limb? Do you think there's a lot of people in the world who knows what this is? Do you think there's a lot of people who know that there is a zodiac and a zodiac sign? Do you think that everybody in the entire planet, or most of them, know that when they look into the sky and it's the morning time, they've heard it before, they've seen it on TV, we're going to call it sunrise. And when it starts to go down, we say it's sunset. Sunset must be a boulevard. At the same time, every single word has letters, and there's a different amount of letters for every single word, and every letter has a reverse letter to it in the alphabet, in many different alphabet contexts, because the one I use in base is A1, Z26, but then sometimes I go A is 26 and Z is 1, if I'm allowed to do it. Because if you call it the end, if you call Z the end, 2 plus 6 equals to 8. That means the beginning is 1, the end is 8. But if we don't call it the end, then where is 9? Where is 0? Why do we have the pound key on the telephone to divide up all the numbers? Why do we have the star key to connect all the numbers? But when you look at the star key, whether you look at it on the ambulance or you look at it on the telephone, one of them has a line down here with an X and the other one is different. They're not the same. One comes down this way, one comes down this way. They're usually using 3 full lines instead of 4 full lines, and I can show you one of the reasons, one of the designs that it comes from. When you use different amount of lines, we also have to understand that in the deck of cards, the king, the queen, and the jack have a different amount of eyes. If you call a house, a casa in French, and maison. If you say red and blue and green and yellow, you can say fantastic. They're colors. Every color is a word, and every word is a letter, and every letter gets a number. In Gematria 1 through 7 in Hebrew, I go up to, I think, 400. 200 for the R letter, Resh. I think Tav is 400. How do we use our numbers? How do we use 0? Are there 9 planets or 8 planets? And have you heard of the planet Pluto that they say exists and doesn't exist as the birth and the life and the death come upon us? 9 is everywhere and nowhere because it is within the void that it exists. Just like between me and you can hear me because of what? How do you hear me right now? How does my voice penetrate into the speaker through these wires all across the world and beyond? How do I get to you? How can you see me? And you could if you can. And if you hear me and you do, then it comes to you through the basis of matter and energy. Now, if you go to the periodic table, they're going to talk about hydrogen and carbon. They're words. If I go to Chaldean, which is look up Chaldean. Chaldean is 1 through 8. There is no 9. U, V, and W, all the life letters, is 666. Where can we use 666? When you add 1 all the way to 36, it equals to 666. But the center of 666 is 111. That's right, the center between 1 and 36 numbers is 111, which is 1/6 of all the numbers, and that's where it connects. But below that, it is 120. 1 through 15 equals to 120. 16 through 21 equals to 111, and 22 over to 36 equals to a total of 335. In rotation creation of the E world of alpha, beta. 1, 6, 7, 3, 4, 9. Every time you do an equation, we have to understand the entire equation. This one equals to 21. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 28, take away 3. This one equals to 25. And 4 over to 9, take away 6 through 45. This one equals to 39. So it equals to 3, 7, and 3. Where do we get this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The center is 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4, 5, 6. So that's 12, 12, 12, right? Let me see. 4, 5, 6 is 15. 7 is 22. 8 is 39. 39. Angels of earth and creation. 39 is for angels. 52 is for earth or for Jack. So you can just say the creation of Jack. When you see different numbers, how can we achieve this number? Or maybe we saw it this way. Or maybe we saw it this way. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then it would be equals to 12. The difference is that this will be 1, 4, 5, 8, 9, 12. And this one will be 3, 4, 7, 8, 11, 12. This one will be 2, 3. This one will be 9, 3. Single digit count. This can be found in this game right over here. The reason for that is when you mix them up, 13 and 31 and 13, or 31 and 13 and 31 equals to a total of 57, and that's 75. My water's boiling. I'm going to be back in a minute. Make yourself known. Speak to me, please. So keep me in order so I can keep reading. Woo! That's hot. I didn't put the cover on. Woo! That's hot. Oh, that's hot. You know what? I like red rose, orange pico. My cat is sitting at the door talking to me. Yes, I like to make it dramatic. There's just so much. I need to dance with others. Is that what my is that what it is that I need? Right? I need that. I need to share. I need to know that what I am doing, what is being done, that it has some sort of importance, because I believe for me it does, and I will not stop, because for me, very important. And I have to share it, because if I do not share it and I put it in a book, what's going to happen if I put it in a book? Who's going to see that book? Who's going to see it? What, should I just write it down and one day sell a book? No. Just in case somebody wants to add on to what I am doing, and just in case others will do similar, alike, or not alike to what I do, as long as we believe that it comes from the Word. I'm just trying to see where my camera's a little crooked here. It comes from the Word. Who are we? What do we believe on how we became to be? If you're an atheist, then you're going to have those beliefs. But for all those that are or not, I want to show you the story that evolves through every single game, and how many coincidences connect, even connecting to the Mayans and everything they do, connecting to the Mayan stories, connecting to this calculator. So what I'm going to start on is I'm going to show you something about the Mayans and something about this calculator. I just thought this would be pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? You can put a whole bunch of cards here, and I don't know, we can just make a story. So there's two areas. You see the separation of the pucks. We can, one on this side, one in the center, and then one on that side. There's going to be more than one puck. So I started doing this today. And, well, first of all, I didn't finish where I was. Let me finish where I was. If you've already been and seen this before, so let me check my channels to see that they're all going okay. Did you know that the initials FB on the piano, right, they have no black keys next to them? I just said, let me see this. Give me 1 second for a second. I just want to see something. Okay, let me get back to where I was. Okay, so these are dice cubes. If you've already been here, I go over this all the time. I'm just going over and over and over until I pack down all the snow so everybody can drive in the same direction. We're all on board. This is Rubik's Cube. This is a dice cube. They call it a die, to die for. One of the things about the word for is that the corners are where the for is. Everything else is in between. The number 2 is where the 7 resides. It is the only real 7 on the dice. This is where the 7 shows. The real 1 on this dice is over here. It's a 1 dot and a 7 void. What is Q? The 17th letter. But we can look at it other ways. If we were looking at as Q in gematria, we would say it's A through G to M and N to T and Z, because the first letter in gematria to the 7 numbers, like on the piano gematria, is where number 7 is the center. And then you branch down 6 letters. So if I would use that 7 here as first, I would go 6 would now be 2. And 5 would then be 3. And 4 would, so let me see, 1, 2, 3, and 4 would be 4. And 5 would be 3, and 6 would be 2, and 7 would be 1. So it would look like this. This is T. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. F is now number 2. G is number 1. E, F, G. This is what it would be in gematria. Or you can climb up. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. How do we get 10 into Q? Where does 10 come from? How many ways can we go about making 10? 7 times 4 is 28. 2 plus 8 is 10. If you want to look where 7 and 4 is, it's right over here. How can we create 4? By placing a 1 on top of a 7 equaling to 4. The other thing about 4, if you take a look at it, it's a left-sided triangle. But it's a left-sided triangle with continuous feet. Why is it a left-sided triangle with continuous feet? I'm just going to see if I can do this. In order to have continuous feet, I would have to do this. This would be telling me what? Is it like this or is it like this? See the way it's made? Short arm and long arm. See the way one is short arm? See the 7 that runs into the 1? And also you can look at the 7 as distance. We can just take that 7, right? And if you take a look at the 7, it goes down to the bottom. So it starts over here at the top of the area, right? Let's say this is a block, and then this is a second block, and then this is the third block. Whoop, I made a mistake. So I would take this to here, and I'm not going to go, sorry, let me do this one square like that. We can go like this, or we can go like this, or I can go like that. Which 7 is it? They're all different angles, and irregardless to the angle of this, it can look like maybe the top of a building. Be the top of a building. That's your number 7. The building is on an angle. Or we can, or which other way can we do it? We can look at the 4, right? if we look at the 4, we'll be doing it this way. And then if it was the 4, what would I be doing here? This way? So then you can see the, and then what would be the 4? That way? You'd be looking at some kind of piece of art in that. See the way it's, see the way it looks like it's going up, like the pentagon? So we're going to stretch this a little bit more, stretch that a little bit more. Now if I made it longer, you see my lines would have to be like that, so that's why it's short. It has to be relevant. So now we have the peak of a tower. But it used to be the number 4. Or we can go ahead, and I'm working on this one some more. I don't know if you know that one, right? Do you know this one? Well, once we finish doing this one, just give me a second here. I'm going to see if I can, let me see this. This is something from 2021. 2021. So let me get rid of let me see what this is. Let me get rid of that. Okay, just give me a second. Here's a formation that comes from the game of roulette. This is reformatting, and there's 2 mistakes in here, so I have to throw this out and start again. Every single one of these numbers will be replaced with colors. And then I'll be creating this either squarely or rectangularly. Okay, the difference between the rectangle and the square, 2 numbers and 3 numbers, right? These are all the numbers in pi, right? There's 369, 369, 369, 36999, 27, 27, 81 times 10, 810, and so on. So this is your what's it called, board. And I went up to 9720 and 729, 486. They all have a relevant meaning to it. But this is what pi is. And there's a formation inside of here if you want to take a look. And then over here is gematria. This is the 1 through 7 I was showing you, right? This going up here, it's right here. It's right here. Under one roof. One person, 2 sides, the DNA between the 2 sides under one roof, all measured. 12 inches, right? 12 inches, how about a yardstick, 36? Here's the same piece of design. You notice on the left side here, the X, and then the straight line 1, and then the Y, so it's X1Y, and then over here it's X1Y. The Y's are upside down. So, and then we have this area over here that comes together. Each one of these is from, this is from the roulette board. So the red is the red, and the ones that I haven't filled out are the black, and you can see the design that stands with the dots, every one of these. So now what we're going to do is base obligations. You can notice that inside of this piece of art, right, the diamond is where the center is, not the squares. You see they're all squares, but when you use when the center box is 9, you see the center box is 9 over here, right? This is the earth marking. See that plate that goes through over here? When this plate goes through here, it's above. See the way they have the under? It's the 2 above or the 2 below. The center, there's only one center, and it's over here. It's above and below. 101, above and below. And it's 33 to be above and below, because that's how our calculator works. 1 over to 4 is 3. 4 over to 7 is 3. When you move to the right and the left, so now we have to understand vertical and horizontal. Up and down is 3, side to side is 1. Now we're going to come down here, and we're going to look at this, 5184. What is all this? What does it mean? Does it mean anything to you? Would you like it to mean something to you? 42, the mathematics, divide the gates. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 is 8 and 6, or 6 and 8. Both 6 and 8, when you come over to the cube, when you come over to this cube, right, we can understand right away that 6, to start with, is relevant right over here. There are 6 missing pieces according to this. 1, 2, 3, and there's 3 here, and there's 3 here. There's a further story with it. Now, this one is 6 dots and 3 missing. The 7 is missing over here because when we look at this, there's 9. I take away 2, there's 7 left over. So what is 6 and 8? This is 8. When I add up 2 through 6, it equals to 20. When I flip it over, you're going to have this. When I have 1 over to 5, it equals to 15. And you want to see something really weird? 6 times 2, 12. 6 plus 2, 8. 8 plus 12 is 20. And it's funny that when I add up 1 all the way to 5, it equals to 15. 20 and 15. 8 and 6. When I have 8 and 6, this is 84. Well, this one's 84. Hold on a second. This one's 84. And this one is 73. It's 7 and 3. It's 8 and 4, equaling to 10, equaling to 12. That's the difference between these two. When I add up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it equals to 20. When I add up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it equals to 15. Note that once you get to 4, right, let me take this away, just to remember the numbers. Okay, you gotta be over there. When you do this like this, remember 4 is TH, 3 is RD, 2 is ND, and 1 is ST. It becomes gold, it becomes silver, it becomes bronze, and it becomes like the rest. And the rest will go from 4th. And we're going to add up all the way to 19th and 20th. But it even breaks up along here. It even breaks up along here. I'm going to switch cameras. I don't like the way it keeps turning on and off. Just give me a second. I'm going to use the other camera for just a bit.
Yeah, okay, and I'm going to try and get back on this, but why do you always have to go right on top of everything, eh? Why on top of everything? I can't do anything if you're on top. Are you trying to stop me on purpose? You just don't like when I do this, right? I'm just going to just, maybe I can move her over a little bit. So I'm going to just move that. And I'm going to move her over just a little bit, just a little bit, just over here. That's okay. Just there. That's good. That's good. Just right there. Okay. So, oh my God. So let me fix the focus on this. Okay. So So what we're going to do over here is this breaks up. Now, where does it break up? Where does it break up? I'm going to show you all the places it breaks up. First of all, it's A, B, C to begin with, right? Once we get the fourth, it's the same as this. A, B, C. Now, I don't know if it's that or if it's that, right? And don't forget, this, right, has a longer distance before it. Perhaps that's what the leap year is all about, the distance moving back to here from ABC. From ABC, D, E, Fahrenheit and Celsius after the death, beta world. G, H, Heb, H, I, Fic. Okay, and then we got these whole things over here. So when we get back to here again, we end up with J, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. So A, B, C, notice that this is the fourth one, right? So A, B, C equals to 6. B, C, D, okay, equals to 9. That's a 3 times 3 equals to 9, and 3 plus 3 equals to 6. But it's A, B, C, D equals to 10 is what gives us the ability to split these apart and join them because we used all 10. But when you have 10, you have this one or you have this one, and one is lost. But the total of 10 is now 15. Do you follow what I'm saying? The heart of this one is 5. The heart of this one is also 5, but it's sorry. The heart of this one is 7. Did I get that right? Let me think. It's 7. Let me think. I'm thinking of something. There's something here. What it is it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's 5, 6. So the heart is 7. 3, 7, 11. 3, 7, 11. This one is 5, and the reason it's 5 is because what happens, okay, even though I go up to 6, here I go up to 9, right? But so when I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the heart of this is 5. There's more than one way to do this, because we all know that the heart of this one is actually 2, and the heart of this one is 3. That's their average. It just so happens that Mars becomes the 22, and that Earth becomes the 33. The reason for that is Earth is numeric value 52, and in the game that I use, okay, that where I use the reality of the cube, etc., I also play a game with words. Now what it is 1 for 1 line and 2 for 2 lines, or V1 and V11. So now we're going to call Mars 6 and Earth 7. Soul, water, both 67. How can you create these? From 16, the reverse of these cubes. 1 times 6, 1 plus 6, 7 and 6. What do we do here? I get 1 line for Mars, so now I can create that. I get 2 lines for Earth, now I can create that. So I call Mars 22 the window. I call Earth 33, which is the pound. For the 9 lives, the cat and the canine. The doghouse. Doghouse is not square, it's made long. In Rubik's Cube, there's 26 pieces. Now my question is, if this had to be a cube in itself, what would I do? 2 by 2 by 2? This is 3 by 3 by 3. There's 26 plus 1 controller inside of this one. This is Earth's. This would be Mars. How many of these cubes to make it square? 4. How many do we need to make the Rubik's Cube square? If I needed 3 up and 3 up, I automatically needed everything that I had. Mars, I only need a total of how many? I need a total of 1 here and 1 here and 1 here and 1 here. So for Mars, I need 8. And for Earth, I need 27. 26 plus 1. So 26 is 8, but I need that 1. The house of bait. Tell me if it makes sense. Tell me if it doesn't make sense. It just so happens that the word ape and go are both number 22. The word the is number 33. And the word gold in French, OR, is number 33. I like to say it's time heaven. TH is a total of 28. 28 is the cycle of the moon, the numeric value for man. Did we understand this? That when we run 4 all the way to 20th, it will equal to 114. But it breaks down because 17 and 18 and 19 are in a category of their own, along with 10. As well, 11 and 12 are in a category of their own. 13 all the way up to 16 are in a category of their own. But 13 is alone, and then 14, 15, and 16 come together. Where does this information come from? We say teen when we hit 13. We do not say it at 12, nor do we say it at 11. 13 is split apart. It is all alone. One of the reasons is because the alphabet splits, and the first half of the alphabet ends on 13. Unlike what 17, 18, 19 in French, they will say 10, 7, 10, 8, and 10, 9. Here they will say 10, telling me it is the mirror. After ABC, it is now J. It becomes the mirror and the assembly of both ABC and BCD, which is apparently what the vibration, the healing vibration to Earth is. In which if I add 666 to this, it'll create what is 891, or a 90-degree angle. Let me see if I did this properly. Yes. Do it backwards. This becomes 0. This becomes 0. This becomes 9. 009. 9 is like 7. 009, 007. Just give me a minute. I'm going to have some hot water. So when I showed you before this, it's because 6 and 8, 2 times 4, 2 plus 4, is what divides the cube up. Number 51 is Mars, 3 by 17. 84 is Pluto, it's 3 by 28. What is the numeric value of man? And the cycle of sevens, cycle of 4 cycles of sevens, Jesus, energy. The rotation and the connections inside the movement. The cube inside the star, always the 6th star. The Mayans count in a series of 7 and then 13. I'm going to show you how we have the same thing on the calculator. 9 and 4 is 13. 7 and 6 is 13. 8 and 5 is 13. But don't take it so lightly, because if I take the first 13 and then I take the second 13 and then I plug it with the third 13. Hold on, did I get that right? Now if I want to do the 6-1 and the 3-4 for 7, 6-1, 3-4 for 7, I can do the same thing, except I'll do this and then I'll do this. By doing that, I've connected my 7s and 13s. I ended up here. And note that 13 is 1 plus 3 equals to 4. And it is the bar mitzvah. And it's the bar mitzvah that when a man is finished in this age, the woman takes over at this age. The bat mitzvah and the bar mitzvah are a little bit different than what everybody might think for those who know it at all. And that's because I have a question. You were born, your child was born, someone was born. Have you ever been to somebody's first birthday? How old were they on their first birthday? And what year were they going into? So when you have your first birthday, it is the year that is complete. It is over. Done. And 7 times 13 equals to 91, the word for spirit. I also like to say pirate. There are 13 cards in the deck of each suit times 4 suits. 1 suit and 2 suits and 3 suits. And also to note that the jack, the queen, and the king have a different amount of eyes. And then if we would look at 4, 3, 2 and want to make them as perfect as numbers can be, what would we do to these numbers with 4, 3, and 2? First, we would say 4 is 60, 3 is 56, and 2 is 58. 13 and 40, 30 and 13, 6 and 0 equals 6, equals 4 and 3, equals to 4 and 4. Dividing the night and day. The division in AI, the division in the moon. 4 times 3, 4 plus 3, equals to a total of 19. 3 by 19 equals to 57, the numeric value for the moon, in which the word Mars is 51, but the letter count for Mars is 108, 57 and 51. It'll create a star, but the star is encompassed within a cube. Where do I get that? Here is the H. Here is the I. I created a window. Here is the N, and here is the Z. Why? Because the opposite of M is N. The opposite of A is Z. The opposite of R in the alphabet, A1, Z26 is I, and the opposite of S is H. And when I put them into order, I get Heinz 57. 5 equals 12, and 7 equals 13. Or you can go 12 and 31, whichever way you want mathematically. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 will equal 3, and 2 equals to 5. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 will be 3 and 4 equaling to 7. And remember I told you 2015? Well, it's also Hebrew time for 5775. Where 7 times 5 is 35. Where 7 plus 5 is 12 equals to 47, the numeric value for time, which will create angels. But if we multiply it by 13 moons, it becomes 75,075. So it's absolutely perfect to its own. Time over time. So when you have your first birthday, you're 2 for both male and female. So that means when the female has the bat mitzvah, right, the next day she is 13. And when the male has a bar mitzvah, you're starting in the year 14. 13.5 is what divides 26 plus 1 letter, the connecting alphabet. 13.5 is the separation between M and N. And don't tell me it's moon. 13.5 separates right here between the male and the female, separating on the moon. So we saw 51 and we saw 84. It's 3 times anything to create something. 7 times 4, 7 plus 4 equals to 28, and 11 minus 11 equals to 39 equals to 17. Angel man of Mars. The mirror of creation. Where 5 and 1 is 2 and 6, where 8 and 4 is prevalent, where number 5 is the 5 dot, or the 4 void, or the 4 dot and the 5 void. 8 is only in number 1. 8 and 1 are always together. These two are always together. It's absolutely perfect, these numbers. 8 and 1, 5 and 4. 8 areas. 8 areas around 1. 5 areas in between 4, or 5 areas with 4 broken up in between creates a diamond to connect it. These two here, these two here, these two here, these two here. These other ones are separated by 1. This will be Mars and Pluto. It just so happens that the letters M, and don't say it's for matter, and you can say it's for Mars, and you can look at E for energy, or you can look at E for Earth. Energy is 74, Earth is 52, matter is 77, and Mars is 51. If you want to know anything when 1, 2, and 5 comes together, or 512, right, or 256, see the way 5 and 1 come together, 2 and 6 come together, 5 and 1 come together, leaving out 2, and 2 and 6 comes together, leaving out 5. So what we'll do is we'll just do that, 2 and 5, and we'll just flip them over. Same. And then 5 and 1 and 2 and 6, and just flip them over. Because the truth is in the creation, what has been delivered. We have been delivered the truth. Another thing about 5775 is right here. Go online, look up orphan children or orphan roulette. And then 1776 or 5157 to on this side is 35, 66, 75. 5 areas create 75. 3 areas create 57. So now we have to do a little bit more math. 5 areas equals 75 equals to what? 15 by 5. And then we're going to have 3 areas equals to 57 equals to 19. So now I know what I have to do with these numbers. I have to create with these numbers. It creates 6 and 1. There's math inside, but I'm a little tired. I'm not sure where I'm going to go with everything. I found this Sanskrit, which is really funny because in it, it showed this design over here on the left, like number 52, the television set, which also says Moses put bricks on the wall because that's the design. Another thing is this piece over here. I'd have to bring you the piece of art that goes with it. But irrelevant, I wanted to upload something. Just give me a second. I think it's here or it's here. Yeah, I want to upload this. Hold on a second. Take a look at the ruler at the top. Okay? Take a look at the ruler at the top. I had to put, see the way the book is on an angle? Right? This must be on this angle. You see the angle it's on? See the way, I think these two squares had to be, I think I had to put it straighter than this. I'm not sure if I'm straight enough with this. That's the actual way that the Earth is supposed to be tilted. I'm not sure if that's the 23 angle because it's an obligation using rectangular paper, just like in games, the game of roulette, okay? They use a rectangular numbers. Let me see if I can look up the game of roulette. Just give me a second. The roulette board. Let me see. No. The roulette board. Roulette, casino roulette. So when you take a look, hold on. When you take a look at this, right, you can see the way everything is rectangular. You can see the way it's set up in 12s. Now there's betting on this board, right? And the betting, and the betting on this board goes a little bit like this. First, we're going to just put these out here. I'm not sure if I'm making the right size boxes. Right? And I skipped over something before about Mars and Earth, because Mars is a single line and Earth is a double line. And it can also be done like this. And when it's done like this on this angle, right, you can do it here too, but on this angle, when it's done in that angle, these angles will create the beehive, right? So this over here is what happens if I put a chip over here, that's going to be 17 to 1. If I put a chip over here, that's going to be 8 to 1. If I put a chip over here, that'll be 35 to 1. So it's 8 and 1, 8 and 1, 8 and 1. 3 and 5, 8, 8 and 1 and 7, 8. That's what the roulette does. And it sets it up this way. So let me see. Also, when we're looking at numbers, why not look at it this way? If we were using this number here, 1 through 91, we would have 1 and 10 separately, then what everything is opposite. This is the way I see it. Tell me if you see something that doesn't make sense. If we go to 55, we go to number 47, you can see there's an area space between 56 and 65, an open area, but not in 55. 3, right, is just like 11. And in pool, the 3 and the 11 are the same thing. Actually, this is not, is this 3? Yeah, this is 3, right. This one over here is also 3, but you can see 3 through 30 is not the same as these numbers over here. Can I have put 12 over here? Because 21 is on the inside. So I went 39 and 93 is 12. 48 and 84 is 12. 57 and 75 are 12. 66. And then for 4, I went 4 over to 40. But then when I went 4 over here, it wasn't the same. See, 13 and 31 are the opposite. 4 and 04 are the opposite. 22 is the same number in the center. But over here, 4 and 9 is 13. 9 and 4 is 13, right? 6 and 7 is 13. I have an empty space. These are obligations. And then when I have 77, right, that's 14. 1 and 4 is 5. When I do it over here, 2 and 3 and 3 and 2, there's an empty space. So these are a little bit different than these. This would be the Earth 5, and this would be the Mars 5. Here's the divided house on the farm. Then when you, I think we did this one already. Then we have, I think, 5. Here's number 6, and there's 2 sides of 6. 6 and 9 is 15. 1 and 5 is 6. 78 is 15. 1 and 5 is 6. Besides the 33, 3 and 3 is 6. So I would be putting it together this way. 8 comes together this way, where 9 and 8 is a natural, not like any other number. And then over here, where 8 and 8 comes together, where 8 and 8 is 16, 1 and 6 is 7, but 3 and 4 is 7. So we have to separate it here. And the last one, I think we did that one already. Let me see what's next. Yeah, so over here we have the devil, the wheel. I'm just trying to see what we have here. We have Earth 3 by 3. 3 plus 3 is 15. We have 5 and 2, 5 and 1. So we now have the spirit of 76, right? Which has to do with Earth and Mars coming together. So now let me go ahead and see what the 2 questions I might have. Is the sound better now, Tammy? So it's about midnight, so I'm going to just go over, make it very, very brief, what I want to do. And then we're going to end the video. I started a new book. And this is going to be the multiplication table of numbers, and it's not in order. And I'm just going to go over it quick, so if you want to ask me any questions, I'll explain it to you. So let me have a sip of my tea again. You notice they did a little work in here, making my ceiling change. Look, there's one there, there's one there, there's two there, and there's one there. Let's say they poked into here just like the earth, and they put something behind it. So here's where it is. 8 times 8 is 64. 9 times 8 is 72. 2 times 8, 3 times 8, 4 times 8, 5 times 8. So every time you do this, it's a mathematical equation, which I didn't do it. 1 times 8, 2 times 8, 3 times 8, 4 times 8, 5 times 8, 6 times 8, 7 times 8, 8 times 8, and 9 times 8. All these numbers go in here. But when I do this in star system math, you also have to add it. So this becomes 8 and 9. This becomes 16 and 10. This becomes 24 and 11. This becomes 32 and 12. This becomes 13 and 40. This becomes 48 and 14. The alphabet divides over here. A, B, C, and then B, C, D come together. These three come together, then these three come together in reflection. 7, 8, and 9 equals to 56 and 15 equals to 64 and 16 equals to 72 and 17. We all know that after that, it's a completely different world, because you must stand on 17. You stand on 17, you're standing with Mars. You get 18, the average, you get the sun. Then over here you get this. Then over here you get the fox. Then over here you get the cat, which is the divided gate at 68. And this is the word for house. 68. The divided cat, 2 times 4, 2 plus 4. And also this numeric value is going to create 32 and 12 equaling to 44, which will create 16 and 8. And this is your division, I like to say, between night and day. And then you're back to 24 again. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 is 8 and 6. How it was all created. It divides the 7 and the 8, the queen and the king. When you multiply this and add it, you get 6, 8 and 7, 8. You get a divided equation. One is with the jack and the other was with the king. 8 is all about the queen because the queen has 8 eyes. All her eyes. She has 8 and 16. I talk about the division of night and day is because when I look at the 4 sides, 4 by 4, 16, or 2 sides, 2 by 4, 8. 2/3 and 1/3 spinning around the pole. So now we're going to ask what happens next. Why 8 and 48? 8 and 48. The reason for that is this. 7 over to 6 is 13. 4 over to 3 is 7. 9 over to 4 is 13. 6 over to 1 is 7. 8 over to 5 is 13. 5 over to 2 is 7. I want to connect those area spaces. So I go 24 to 32, 8 to 48, 56 to 48, and then 72 to 32, and then 40 and 60 comes together, and then 16 and 40. 10-4, 104, 10-4 communication. Home is also number 41. I also like to think of this as alpha beta. This is where the student comes in. Yo, 6 and 5, this has to be discussed. This is where F comes in, EF. It is a reflection of what is 1 and 2, creation. If 1 and 2 is creation, this is the cap to that creation because of what the cubes do. 1 and 2 on one side, and when you flip it over, you have 5 and 6 on the other side. So the 1 and 2 is going to create 3 plus 2 equals to 5, and this is going to create 30 plus 11 equals to 41 equals to 5. So they're identical. Their void is 87 equaling to 56, and 15 equals to 71. The void, okay, is 43 equaling to 12, and 7 equals to 19. Becomes 1 and 8. Becomes 1 and 8. Now the thing about that, 1 is with 8. 1 with 8 areas. No, it's voided all the way around. So this is what we get over here, 10, 4. Now what's ironic about the 10 and the 4 is that when you take these two dice and you flip them over, you get the 4. Or if we go ahead and we take these two dice, 55, sky pass, we get ape, 22, busting out, or just 4. It's ironic to know that an alignment of numbers will repeat on 10. Take note. Add these to a single digit. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. 12, 1 and 2 is 3. 11, 1 and 1 is 2. 6 and 4 is 10 is 1. 9. We've done here. The next one down from here is 8, and we repeat on the 10th one. Only with 3 and 6 do we repeat on the 4th. Now on this side, what's this? Well, 16 and 72 come from where? 2nd and the 9th, 11. You're always connecting 11 every single time. The 2nd box and the 9th box. The 3rd box and the 8th box. So we also have to understand their value. This value over here of 16 and 9 will be 2 and 9 area space. Where do we get that? 2 and 9 area space. This is upside down. And then we're going to go 3 and 8. So the next one over here, where we go 24 and 64, this will be number 3 and number 8. So what is 2 and 9? What is 3 and 8? If you're looking at your fingers, that's 3 and 8. 1 times 1. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 equals to 1 and 2 equals to 3. 2 times 2, 2 plus 2 equals to 4 and 4 equals to 8. We have to understand how we get to the numbers. Where's 32 and 56? 32 and 56, area 4, area 7. Area 4, area 7. Time, energy, Jesus. We get this one over here, it becomes 5 and 6. Jupiter and Saturn come together, 40 and 48. This happens to be the outline, the blue world sun, and the outline of a Monopoly board. All these squares, because if Monopoly was 40, don't forget the squares that are in the center. So this is basically number 8. Don't forget, 8 will go with number 1, according to the cube, because there's voided spaces. Also, 8 is going to be inverted. 8 is going to be inverted to what is 3 on this cube. 8 void and 3 void. Remember that. Now we're going to go over to 7. 7, 14, 21. So I connect 7 to 42. I connect 28 to 63. I connect 49 to 42. All this says spirit. Green 8, the numeric value. Mars and the birth. 9 for the birth, the spirit with the birth. And that's how this one connects together. Now 7 and 70. 7 and 70 is the first. 14 and 63. The second area, the 9th area, the 3rd and the 8th, the 4th area, and the 7th, the 5th, and the 6th, all 11s you connect together. And the value here is power, matter, and Christ in this one here. I'm going through them quick. I'm a little tired. In this one here, it shows freedom and woman because that's the numeric value. It shows me the gateway, and it shows me the divided numbers, the divided house for number 6. It also shows me this, both sons and creation of the house. Every single one of these is talking about the divided house, creation, 66. Inside of this, it's telling me about Mars, it's telling me about electric company, it's telling me about Earth. Again, creation number. There's going to be one of every single number in here. It tells me about sky and pass through number 55. This is Yo 11. This is home, king, electric company, 35 and 65. 2 and 8 come together. All number ones come together here. 2 and 8, the cycle of the moon, the numeric value for man. Basketball, I work out with 48. Again, it's going to be able to divide the day and the night. 44, inverted is mass. 33, this would be Mars. Also purple. The 4 and 12 ball are purple. The difference between 16 and 12 is 4, and that's purple. And these two are the invert. 180 degrees separates 3 and 4. The equation here is all about 44. So it's going to tell me again another number that tells me the division between night and day. And it's telling me about Earth and then the cycle. 52 is Earth. Number 3, 3, 6, and 9 will tell me about 33, the divided sun. The 9 lives of the cat. Tell me about angels. Tell me about the dots on the cube. I don't know all the answer. Tell me about angels. Tell me about, this is the game Sickbo, where the lowest and the highest of 3 cubes is 3 and 18. Now this one, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. What happens? It's telling me about the dog and the cat. It's telling me 22, the letter V for life. 14 and 26, they're the same letter. The N and the Z come together in this one over here. Communication comes together. The cube comes together over here. And that's what I basically did. So I'm a little bit tired. It's time for bed. Raphael, 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. I want to thank you for watching this video. And I'm not sure if she likes this or she doesn't like this. You like that? Is that okay? Do you like it or you hate it? Am I being too rough with you? You're a good elephant. Everybody like my elephant? This is a beautiful elephant. My beautiful elephant. So that's the end of the video. I'm just going to scratch my cat's ear just for a little bit. Whoop, I'm sorry. Did I move you too much? Is that good? Hey, you coming back? Oh. Thank you for watching. You like this video? That's great. Share it. Ask me questions. If you can help out the channel, that would be amazing. That would actually be very amazing. If not, sharing would be just fantastic too. The only way to wake up is to know the truth, and we cannot deny the truth. The truth is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Words are the truth. Not the sequence of words, the singular letter, and how we get and how we tell stories. Anyways, I'm tired. Good night.